Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 71 of my modded Factorio playthrough. In this episode, we are going to take all of that binafran that we have farmed and turn that into vegetable oil and fuel oil. Enjoy. Okay, next steps on this process is to have 20 bioprocessors processing the binafran into beans, and then 25 oil presses processing that into vegetable oil, and then some other steps. But let's get these oil presses and bioprocessors. Hopefully there's enough room for all this stuff. Alright, so we need 20 bioprocessors. That's going to be 4 sets of belts. Let's see, but let's space this out a bit, because the binafran is being compressed. Looks like the belt will be slightly not good enough because we need 2.1, but I'm fine rounding a lot of these machines off because they're close enough. They don't need to be absolutely perfect. So we'll have 3 belts. So we need a stack inserter going in. And a red going out. There we go. There is the pattern. Let's see where to put it. Go like right there. And right there. Okay, looking good. Just chop that off for now. There we go. Let's see how all this works. Good. It really doesn't take that long. Running out of sinking water. So now we need 25 oil presses and 2 belts worth of beans. Luckily these machines are smaller, so we can try to fit it in here. Let's do 24 oil presses so we can do 2 groups of 12 so they more easily match position here. So let's copy that. Hey, it fits. We're definitely going to have to place this other stuff somewhere else, but let's just see what we can do right now. It might not take up that much space. We probably don't want to keep moving to the left here, because the actual location that we need for our stuff is on the right. While we're here, we should probably handle this nutrient pulp as well, because we are going to build up a little bit of it, and we're going to want to get rid of it. So nutrient pulp can be produced directly from like beans and corn or whatever, but we're actually going to get some as a result of filtering for vegetable oil. So we have three choices. Nutrient pulp can go into fuel oil, acetone gas, or synthesis gas. Can't really use acetone or synthesis right now. So basically, the way to look at that is we would be able to remove 40% of its volume in fuel oil, but we'd still be left with 60% of byproduct. Compared to this one, which glycerol liquid we can't really use right now, but that's only 40% of its original volume. And with here, acetone is 60%, ethanol and butane we can burn. But the most efficient thing to do would be to turn it into glycerol liquid, and we can collect the liquid for a while. And if we get too much liquid, could probably just safely dump it. Because glycerol doesn't really go into very much. It goes into nitroglycerin and explosives. So it's not really used very much. So let's hit that. If we turn it into plastics, we'd have a better option here. But I don't know if I really want to go down that chain right now, so turning into glycerol is the easy out. Let's place these machines down and see what they look like, and then we'll figure out where they need to go. So there's the vegetable oil filtration. There we go, that step's easy enough. Then it goes into 12 oil refineries. Okay, these need to be spaced apart by 1 square. And let's see what kind of stitching we can do. There we go. That should be fairly repeatable. See, it slices in on that side, slices in on that side. Let's see, let's put it there. And right there. And right there. This actually probably isn't a half bad spot to put it. It does leave this space right here open, but these pipes are there, so this might actually work all right. Okay, we need some tanks. Like a tank down here. To absorb all of that nutrient pulp. It would be nice to have some tanks up here as well. Just as buffer tanks. Let's put a top-up valve right here on the mineralized oil coming from storage, because we need to have some room for the mineralized oil being produced from vegetables to fill in first. However, that problem doesn't really exist when it comes to the fuel. So we'll just let the fuel go in there and do its thing. Although having a no return valve might produce some decent results here, just to make sure any fuel that's put in the system doesn't backflow. Although the same could be said for the mineralized oil as well. So that much is hooked up. I think we just need to get these filters taken care of, and then we'll be able to fire this whole thing up. Well, Luckily, we only need the one assembling machine. So let's do long-handed here. In and out. Let's see, let's have a priority splitter. And the output will be the empty filters. I don't know if that's really going to work. Well, actually, this might be a good application for inserters I don't like to use, but ones that change their length. It shouldn't really matter because we're not using very many of them. There we go. Let's give it a buffer chest. And let's say we want at least 200 filters. Although that buffer should probably exist down here. And no circuit condition. We'll just let the thing fill up as it needs to. Okay, looking pretty good. And we need to seed this, so let's put a temporary filter frame machine right there. We need to get coal in here. Is there any convenient coal? Not really. Time for a drone. Let's say coal is less than one drone's worth. 400. So there's our request. Set up coal. And one drone's worth. There we go. I don't know how many frames, but let's get a couple stacks of each resource. This might take a little while to seed everything up. We've got to wait on the coal to get there. But let's see what else we can hook up here. We do need the purified water, or 1.3 hydro plants. Let's see. These water treatment plants can pretty much go anywhere. But let's try to line up the pipes. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Luckily, saline water doesn't have very far to go. And we need to pull off some of that water all the way up here. Okay. That basically did its job. Okay, we should be able to hook up all this vegetable oil processors and see how it runs. It does. It runs very quickly. Mostly green, which is what we want to see, but we're running out of binafran. Let's see. Let's disconnect these one-way valves for now. Just want to make sure the whole setup works. Let's see, what's the easiest way to get vegetable oil in here? Probably over here. Then when we hook this up, everything should start happening. Sure seems like it. And just like that, it's all done. It went through what it could anyway. Alright, let's put the no returns on here. Which is going to start running through this residual gas. Very briefly anyway. Okay. Well, that ran for a little bit. We've got a little bit of nutrient pulp. But we're out of saline water. Which means it's time to start generating it. Probably the easiest way is just to do a bunch of washing plants like we have up here. Except instead of taking anything out of the water, we're just going to have 5 washing plants, and then boom, we're going to have a bunch of saline water. So what kind of water output would we get if we just had 1 of each? $90 per second. That's actually almost all of it. So let's try that. So how we're going to do this is going to be a little funny. Basically, we just need our 5 washing plants. Let's see, let's put them here. So saline, thin, light, concentrated, and mud. Let's put a pump in here. Get a circuit network going. Basically, let's say if saline is under, how about 4,000 or 20%? Turn on. I guess I'll space these out by 1. Let's pipe in the water. And we gotta get the mud. And the seafloor, which I think we can just share from up here. So let's see how this works. I don't think this is the first time in the factory we're just solely creating saline water. Just going straight down the chain, making mud and saline. Well, it's going to basically get used. And that's not quite enough to feed all the farms, just most of them. So let's see what the farms look like. Looks like they're all slowly filling up. It is slowly producing stuff. Slowly working on the residual gas, but the real question is, how are we doing on mineralized water? Still full. Might just take a while, because this is definitely improving in throughput. It might have the problem that it's too far away, because the saline water's almost at the point where the pump's going to turn off, but I don't think it's making it all the way down here. But Well, everything's starting to fire up here. So that's good news. Since this saline water has so far to go, let's pump it out. And interestingly enough, it's doing this big old zigzag. So hopefully that pump will help. Looks like it is. There we go. Almost full blast. We're actually building up fuel oil a little bit. Yep, we're just trying to make it through the residual gas. Hey, mineralized water is finally working its way down again. There's just so much of a backup across the whole factory that it's going to take a little while to clear everything out. This belt might not be fast enough, I noticed. So when the belts combine, let's turn them into reds. Factory is using tons and tons of power. Let's see, we might get better performance by having a balancer right here. Alright, doing well. Of course, now nutrient pulp is full, so this process is going to slow down to a crawl again. Unfortunately, our system here isn't quite closed loop yet, so on the next episode we need to turn that nutrient pulp into something more useful and try to make this a complete system. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.